Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. A bit of a different video today. We're on Catawiki, which is some kind of auction platform, maybe a cross between eBay and the sale room and maybe one of the major auction houses. It's a bit of a strange one. Seems you can kind of add stuff like an eBay platform, but then there's an expert as well at the side, and it's kind of curated like a weird curated eBay or something like that. It's hard to know exactly how to explain it, but I thought maybe we'll have a look and see what violins are up here. So I've looked at this website before a few times, but I've never bought anything, so I found it really strange. So if anyone has actually bought anything from Catawiki before or sold anything, please let me know, because I'm really curious to see. So but basically we're just going to have a look what there is in terms of violins and just scout it out really. So if we search for violin, we've got 112 objects. Probably quite a few of them aren't actually violins, but let's see what we've got here. So my understanding is that there's individual sellers, and then there's an expert, that's or supposed expert, that gives you an idea. So the expert is saying that this thing is worth 460 to 520 euros. Current bid is 20 and there's 5 days left to go. To me, this is just your bog standard trade violin. It gives you information about kind of shipping and all that stuff. Beautiful intact German full-size Mark Kirken region violin, which is fine, from the 1930s. Gives you dimensions, which is pretty good. It's actually better than most auction houses. Talks about kind of shipping and who it's been sold by. So it's from the Netherlands, and you get to kind of give feedback and stuff. So that's kind of essentially it. It looks like there's a ridiculous amount of photos, so potentially in this regard it's maybe a bit better than some of the auction houses or than eBay, because yeah, you actually get quite a lot of photos there. So I mean, assuming it's in really good condition and ready to play, I guess that estimate from the expert is not too bad, and there's some pretty detailed pictures, so that is kind of curious. So there we go. This is kind of Catawiki. Like I said, I've never actually bought from here before, because I just found the whole thing really strange, but maybe one day I will. So experts here again, 400 to 550 euros on this, and we've got a different instrument, I think, from a different seller now. Do we have as many pictures? 14 photos. Really, that's quite interesting. So I've never looked at this before, but really there are quite a lot of photos, and they're quite good. So I wonder if they have a certain kind of quality of photos that they require. Once again, there's information here. Violin in good condition. It's talking about cracks. A bit more vague in this kind of regard. This one is coming from Belgium. You can get feedback, etc. So yeah, interesting platform. I've never really looked at it properly. Let's see what else we've got here. Violin labelled rocker. Once again, this looks not too different from the first one that we've seen. Experts saying 350 to 450, whoever that actually is. You get the information here. It's another standard German violin, but once again, wow, 37 photos. This is kind of crazy, actually. Never seen, I mean, these photos aren't so great, but it's really quite an amazing amount of photos. So that is quite curious. Then we've got a violin labelled Stradivarius, 100 euros on that so far. Simone Seda, selected, no kind of estimate there. Just looks like a kind of generic trade violin there. Current bid 100 euros. See what else we've got here. Violin labelled Monzino and Figli, 160 euros on this. Our man saying 250 to 350 euros on this one. 15 photos. Where is this coming from? This is coming from Germany. Let's have a look at the photos here. Some details on the scroll. Well, there's a lot of photos, so that's kind of handy. Difficult to say what's going on there. What else we have here? unlabelled German violin. Another violin labelled Stradivarius. Estimates 300 to 350. Lots more pictures. I don't want to get into it too deep. Wow, 45 pictures. That seems a bit extreme. Yeah, curious. Let's see what else we've got here. This is the same kind of just tradey stuff. We've got a bow there, labelled Ignis Sidersi violin. Let's have a look at this. 5 days less to go on that. €55. 4 to 500. I mean, at least the so-called expert appraisal is not too ridiculous. I'm offering my violin for sale. Okay, very good. So I presume you can list up as an individual, but there's probably some kind of constraints about how you upload them. So here we have a violin labelled Carlo Bruno, Italy. 1200 to 1400, this person is saying. I mean, it looks like a bit of a kind of slightly oddly shaped thing, weird F-holes. Pins there on the back. Like, interesting choice of wood. Really difficult to tell here. And this is coming from the Netherlands, so I mean, there seems to be a strong kind of bit of business going on catawiki, so there must be something in it. Some people must be enjoying dealing with it. So violin labelled Vincenzo Sanino. Expert says 250 to 420. I'm just seeing a whole load of trade violins, really. Some of which seem in better condition there. It's one of these Gassetto type ones here. Nothing too crazy. Another one here. Bows. I mean, I dare say you could probably get some interesting stuff here. Violin labelled Ventapane, 3/4 violin. Okay. Estimate 4 to 600. Okay. Quite nice back on it, actually. The scroll is not too bad on that. Okay, see additional photos there. Something weird's going on with these photos. But interesting enough scroll, actually. Don't know about the rest of it though. But there we go. That's coming from Germany. What else do we have here? More bows, strads, and it just all seems to be a whole load of trade stuff, or just weird amateur things with funky labels. A violin label George Klotz. This just looks once again pretty generic. Bows, once again just tradey type violins here. Nothing really looking particularly decent so far. Just pretty much the same. Violin bow there. More Stradi type things. This is a pretty weird one. Oh, it's a cello labelled Raffaello Bozzi. Okay, wow. €1,100 on that one. Supposed expert is saying 2 to 2.7. Pretty weird looking F-holes there. We've kind of migrated away from violins indirectly here. You're bidding on a very fine old full-size cello labelled Raffaello Bozzi. Okay. Once again from Germany. Just this seems to be the even more speculative than eBay, this stuff. Let's have a look. Matthias Osler, Germany, 1982. Wow, starting bid 3,495. Okay, so obviously you can go in big as well. Right, okay, this person estimates giving to near €8,000. I mean, who honestly is gonna buy that, even if it's a really decent German violin. It's just not gonna happen. So let's see if we can see the back of it, but I think some people live in a pretty weird fantasy world here. I mean, it looks pretty tidy, but it's not exactly exciting, so don't think so on that one. Some more bows, more sort of things. French violin, Tonino Boga, Italy. Current bid, wow, €2,601, 3.4 to 3.8 on here. Beautiful violin, made by Professor Tonino Boga in Turin in 2011. Made in the San Filippo Neri violin making laboratory in Turin. Okay. It is shipping from Italy, so not a maker I've ever heard of, but there are crazy amount of Italian makers around. Well, these pictures are absolutely dreadful, so pretty difficult to know exactly what's going on here. Well, I mean, it's pretty looks a little bit rough around the edges when you look into it, so it could well be exactly what it claims to be fair. Pretty bizarre. These pictures are actually a bit more decent. Yeah, that's a pretty curious looking scroll. Yeah, I mean, this just seems to be what I was thinking, that it's just people just paying crazy money for things, which just doesn't really make any sense to me. And then I think we're kind of we've migrated out of violins as instruments, and we're just into kind of art and things, so I think that's pretty much it, and sculpture. So yeah, my impression of catawiki is just basically people paying over the odds for either trade violins or kind of weird amateur stuff with completely unknown provenance on a whim, which is not unlike some auctions or like eBay, but for some reason this just seems to be worse, and I never really understand it. So if you have dealt with catawiki before, if you've sold something on there, if you've bought something on there, please let me know, because I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. So that was just me ranting on and rambling, and have a look at it. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Ciao.